Yo, and welcome back to the niceTry podcast. This is episode 3 of the niceTry podcast. Episode 2 was uploaded to our YouTube channel last week as well as Spotify. So get on over, hit the like and subscribe on YouTube. Give us a thumbs up over there and hit the follow on Spotify. We'll be uploading every fortnight. Tonight we have our co-host, who is his first time appearing with us. The man's very hard to get, very busy man, but of a night time, he likes to relax, have a couple of tequilas, and talk a bit of shit about shoes and what's going on in the world. So I'd like to introduce to you our co-host, Nick, otherwise known as MrBeardedBro. How are you, brother?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good now. I'm getting a nice scotch into me.
How's your new internet?
My new internet, mate. It's better than the Macca's Wi-Fi that I had going a couple of weeks ago, so it's quite nice. Yeah, mate. I haven't had a drama. I haven't had to do the old internet reset midway through a video game or anything yet, so that's quite good. It's good.
Who did you go through?
We're through iiNet. No, Aussie Broadband.
Aussie Broadband.
Yeah, Aussie Broadband. So, yeah.
The company set it up for you, or did they just send you something and do it yourself?
No, they just, because we've obviously been a brand new house, got the box in the wall. Like, I think you've got one in the garage as well. And, yeah, they just set it all up, and I went into the good old good guys, pay less, pay cash, and brought the old router and probably about half an hour phone call to them, and it was all done.
You think that's still a thing?
What's that?
Pay less, pay cash?
Nah, not a hope in hell, mate.
It's not for them.
Nah, not a hope in hell. I still remember the old original jingle with with all the yeah, mate, yeah. So anyway, yeah.
They're not laundering money there.
No, it's Crown Casino, mate.
Dude,
I heard James Packer's gone into buying laundry mats now.
We're in Melbourne on the weekend, and we went to Crown on Sunday night, and we walked in one entrance, and it was literally like you had no concept of time of day or anything like that until you walked out into another place, out of the actual gaming area, and there was just people on top of people on top of people, just roulette and the big wheel.
Yeah, it's still in the middle of the room.
Yeah, there's a heap of them now. There's like a digital version where it's like on the screens on the like bottom part, and they still spin the wheel, but it's down the bottom. It's all different. We pulled up to the big wheel just because Cal hasn't seen it before, and it spins and stops, and it's on the Joker, 47-1, and everyone's like, the dude won like 500 and something bucks.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, 47-1. So if you put $1 on, you get 47. So if you put $10 on, $470.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad for a $10, is it?
How much has he lost though before he put that $10 on?
100%, mate. I remember going there many years back, and I was playing. I think it was blackjack, and I lost nearly $1,000. And I said, right, that's it. I'm done. I'm out. I played one more hand, and I won all but $150 of my money back. I just picked myself up and left.
See you later. Yeah.
Yep.
So you got to think that, like, obviously, people are there. We're watching roulette, and they were just. I had no idea what was going on. They were like putting chips between lines and on numbers, and no one bet on red or black because no one wants those odds. They're too easy. Everyone wants to like, and the dealer when it spun up and was like 26 or some shit. Someone was on that, and someone had won. Like 3 of them had won from that. But all the other chips that they had on the table the dude like scrapes them off, and there was like hundreds of chips just on the table.
You just seeing your money just getting dragged away.
Yeah, it's cool. I don't even know
So
how
what
much those chips were. It was $5 all that, so who knows?
I saw you did a little bit of shopping down there, mate, down in old Melbourne town. Where did you manage to pick yourself up?
I tried, but I got a couple of pairs of shoes actually, which I haven't bought shoes for ages. So I got
That's what I tell my missus too.
yeah, no, yeah. She's got more shoes than me recently. These graffiti dunk lows.
Yeah, nice.
In comparison to normal dunk lows, they're 10 times better.
Yep.
Like structure-wise, they feel better, obviously because the upper's better. But material-wise, like the leather is 100 times better than the fucking shitty panda dunks that everyone's got. Wait, you have those too, don't you?
They're good walking around shoes.
Yeah. But like quality-wise, like the tongue is a bit more padded than a normal dunk. It's not SB padded, but it's padded. It's a nice. I wore it to work. A nice. It's got hair all over it. A nice shoe. Otherwise, I couldn't decide between this blue one and the other one.
Yeah, I like that one.
Red.
Yeah, I like
It gives me early SB vibes. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't remember what model it was, but there was like an early SB collab that was color. And this material is like not a leather. It's like yeah, kind of, but it's not. It's not. I don't know. But this color's rad. This color's cool. The swoosh is grey.
It'd be similar to these, the material on these.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I think it's part of it, whatever it is. But yeah, like grey sole, grey swoosh, which works, I guess. But yeah.
Yeah, the hits are red on it. The hits are red on it, make it pop quite nice.
That's cool, yeah. And each shoe's different too. Like it's not the same. Like that's more grey.
Yeah.
Whereas that's more red. So it's like they're different all over the shoe.
Yeah, nice.
That was it. Aside from the 15 pairs of Calvin Klein underwear, that was all I bought, really.
Yeah, I go to the Calvin Klein underwears, mate.
DFO, man. DFO had, was it 30% off? Yeah, 30% off. Calvin Klein, so I just bought all my underwear that I needed, so it's good.
Well, I had a bit of a parcel pile stack up at my front door the other day.
That's rare for you.
Yeah, I know, right? Never happens. But I was a sucker for the green. I was a sucker for the. Yeah, I know, right? No, first name basis. I'm a sucker for the green bean fives. Absolutely loved them. My one goal when I went up to the Gold Coast after my wedding was to get them, and they only had them in a size 9 at the Nike outlet up there. So I was lucky that I had a restock on Nike sneakers, so I was able to get them.
Yeah, nice.
And then hit the raffle for the infrared 4s, but I think everyone that entered them hit the raffle for the infrared 4s. Yeah. It's good to say. It's good to say you won a raffle. So. And then
I had the raffle for the what were they? The blanked on it. The Prestos.
Yeah.
Thinking that they're going to be like everyone's going to go crazy for the Hello Kitty Prestos. Like, oh, I want to get Caleb pair. Hit the raffle. Oh, they're still sitting now.
They're still sitting on sneakers.
I'll be able to buy myself a pair.
I'll tell you what, he's still sitting on the sneakers, and I'm I've seen them in hand, and they are amazing. And I haven't pulled the trigger on them yet because I don't need them, and I don't reckon I'd wear them, but they'd be really cool to have. And it's the Jordan 5 Low Clots. I've seen them in hand, and they are really nice. Really nice. Yeah. It's got a full size where I'm sitting.
Do you know what Nike had at Nike store in Melbourne Central? They had a Dunk High, all black, with a white swoosh.
Yeah, was that a kid's size only?
No, it was adults.
Yeah, right. Because I know they re-released. I know they re-released the Venoms.
Oh, it was.
But they only released them in the kid's size.
Rubbish.
Yeah.
They felt so shit. They felt real like crap, like crap material. Yeah, but all black. High.
Have the what sock liner?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, I know they re-released the Venom highs, but they were only in grade school sizes only.
It's not good shoe. The old Venom ones are good because the material's wicked.
Yeah. I gave you the old Venoms I had, didn't I?
No, I think I left them at your house actually.
I might still have them here then. I don't know what I've got here, mate.
Yeah.
But yeah, the other parcel I got, mate, and you know me, you know I'm a sucker for the older release stuff. Is the 30th anniversary 2015 White Laser 4s, and I was lucky enough to get these with Michael Jordan's face there, which is super rare. But just to continue the rareness, I got Michael Jordan's face there. So this shoe is a very, very rare pair. So yes, and I've got the Mason Chateau Rouge 2s that should be rocking up hopefully Friday, and a pair of Green Glow Yeezy slides which I managed to grab last night. So first time on the slides. We'll see. If I don't like them, I know I'll bloke the wheel.
I'll wear them with socks to work.
roll up the bottom of your jeans, mate. Should be right to go.
Imagine how much shit would get over my feet throughout the day if I wore those, because they're pretty open.
Yeah, sure. They're very open. They're just like a normal slide, mate. They're not any bigger or anything. Just the same as a normal slide.
I wore my Hydro Mox once for a day at work. I've had to throw the socks out after that. I haven't worn my Sully Crocs yet.
Yeah, right. I found mine today. Gave them a wash. They were filthy, absolutely filthy. But yeah, dude, there's so much traffic around them. Like, there's so much hype around those Crocs.
They're good. They're fucking comfortable. I wear them all weekend in the city. Everywhere
they are. You know me, man, and I would be the last person to wear Crocs.
Yeah,
correct. I got that pair with you, and look, hand on my heart, I admit it, they are comfortable as all hell. They're good just to yeah, because obviously, I've been outside in them twice. I went to the general store here in Meredith twice. But obviously, you know the line of work that I do. I'm in boots all day, right? Work boots all day. I come home, and the last thing that I want to do, as much as I love my J's, is put on a pair of 1s or 4s or anything like that. Sliding your bloody feet into those at the end of the day just to go and check the mail or go out the back of the dogs or something, it's like walking on a cloud. They're unbelievable.
100%. But those Yeezys should be similar. Should be comfortable as hell, or more comfortable.
You don't want to just chuck a pair of Yeezys on and go and check the dogs.
No, true. So, hey, is that overpriced picture that you paid for in the background there?
Yeah. Bastards got me there, didn't they? They were deliberately driving the price up because they knew that I just sat there at the auction and I just had my hand up. I said, I'm not taking it down. I'm going to take it home. And I said to the missus, I said, when this one comes up, leave the room. Because I'm getting it no matter what the price is. For those of you that can't see, it's a like a painting picture of all Jordan 1s that I got at a charity auction at my old football club a couple of weeks ago. And
Was there like
it's probably
something is on the picture?
there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows of 4.
Yeah.
So
I'm not good at math.
yeah, no, there's more than 2, less than 50.
It should be 23, not 24 on there. That doesn't make sense. Take one off.
Take one off. If I was to
That's all
take anyone off, it'd be the biohacks. It would be the biohacks, that's for sure. Well, the biohacks are cool, but they don't hold a candle to anything else that's up there.
Hey, what are those ones that are like yellow and purple? What are they? The mids or they high? No, not on the picture. They come out this year. Jordan 1 high maybe or a mid?
No, they'd have to be a mid. They'd have to be a mid.
They're like purple.
Oh, you're talking
yellow,
about
no?
What are they called? Yep. I can't think of the bloody name of them. They're sitting everywhere.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've seen a few pairs of them. Yeah, those.
Them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen
Brotherhoods.
pairs of those on the list.
Brotherhoods.
They're sitting around Melbourne. Them around.
Dude, honestly, these are a bloody nice shoe. A really nice shoe. If you know the story behind it. It pays homage to Jordan's fraternity that he was in. Don't ask me what it is. I couldn't tell you. But it's those colours. But just
he was in the same fraternity as you remember Revenge of the Nerds? He was one of those guys.
No, but I thought you were going to say, what's that one that Will Ferrell and that was in? They go and start a fraternity. You're my boy, Blue.
What's that movie? We're going streaking.
Streaking through the quad.
I love that movie.
That's a good movie. Yep, it'll come to us after the pod. But yeah, no, it's a bloody killer of a movie, that. So, Nico.
That had Jeremy Piven and it had heaps of people in that movie.
Yeah, for sure. Snoop Dogg, wasn't it? I think it was just called high. Is it just called High School? Nah.
High School Musical? No, that's not it.
Definitely not. But anyway, so Nico, I've had the pleasure of knowing you for the last 12 years. All right?
Has it been that 12 years?
It's been that long, so yeah, happy 12 years. Yeah. And I've seen you go through a lot of different. I'll use the word fads, not really fads, but you've been a bit of an entrepreneur. When you put your head to something,
fingers in it.
Yeah, a lot of fingers and a lot of pies. You've tried a few different things. Obviously, as our co-host, I'd like our viewers and listeners just to get to know you a little bit and walk us through your journey of how you have got to where you are today, where you started from when I knew you 12 years ago.
Yeah, right. What 12 years ago? So what? 2010?
2010, 2011, yeah.
2010. Man, I reckon I can't even think of what I was doing in 2010.
Well, I remember a couple of little enterprises you had to snap back to reality.
I think that was like pre-caps, but definitely remember I used to make those necklaces from the. Yep. I used to buy all the shoes. I used to buy all the mini shoes from overseas and like make necklaces out of them. That was cool. But like I was importing caps, baseball caps from overseas. Thank you. And through Facebook Marketplace, before it was really Facebook Marketplace, just through I think like maybe a Facebook page or something.
Yeah, a couple of groups, I think it was.
Facebook groups, pages. Instagram, when Instagram was kind of just starting to kick off, selling like basketball caps and pop culture style caps and stuff that you couldn't really get here at the time. Like, remember Soldier Boy's brand? What was it called? You had that hat? It had the smiley face on it. It was sideways.
Yeah, I can't think of it now. It'll come to me when the movie name comes to me.
High School High. No, was it called? Was it called? Was it called Yum?
Yums.
Yums.
Yeah.
Yums.
I had the one with the shoe. I had the one with the shoelace.
And then there was like caps that had like there was heaps of New Era, and then there was just heaps of no brand like American style caps. And, is it called Yums? Yeah, Yums. There was like just like a lot of sneaker related. I'll probably started collecting sneakers in like 2000-ish, 2004 or 5, which I think you still have some of my original collection, some of my babes.
Oh, could possibly do. Yeah, I definitely still have the babes. And this is one of the early ones I got from you too. The Dead Horse.
Yeah. That is a that's a I don't know if it was called Friends and Family back then, but it was like a staff
employees
footlocker exclusive staff shoe that they made us wear to work at work, and it wasn't good. It wasn't on your feet all day in those shitty Pumas. It was not cool. But coming from a DJ background, having that person on a shoe was rad. Like, it was before any other real like huge people aside from sports people had something like that.
It's when they started branching out. Yeah. Yeah, like your J Balvin's, all that sort of stuff. They're coming out with collabs all the time. It was your first music style producer. What was that?
I said, "Oh wow!" Cheers.
Cheers.
I give anyone a shoe. It feels like Nathan from Coffee Cartel is going to get a shoe soon.
Everyone's getting one.
But that was a shoe that I still have the toy somewhere that came with that shoe. I don't know where, but I did see it in a box not that long ago when I was moving shit around. They gave us those shoes to wear, and then there was a huge dead mouse like thing, and then it was gone.
Yeah.
I reckon from my original heap of shoes that I started collecting when do you remember, this might be before you, but do you remember the Jordan, they were like hybrids? They were like Air Force Ones and Jordan.
What, the Son of Mars
like
series
Jordan
and stuff?
No, way weirder. It was like they come in these fancy boxes that you could hardly put back together. They were like slide out boxes like the boxes, but they had a plastic cover that went over the top, and it just didn't fit right once you pulled it back out. There was like a full 3M Jordan. I want to say like maybe 5 / Air Force One high. It had the strap on top. It was absolutely fucked. But we used to go to the Nike outlet every week in Collingwood and just buy shit and put it away, just because you just never knew. And that was like, Oh, dude, I got so much stuff from then. Like back then in that time period, like they did this uh Halloween Air Force One. It was like orange pony hair. It was rad. It was a 6 ring, and there was these Terminator high. One shoe was like teal leather, and the other shoe was like brown or something. It was disgusting. But I had to get them. They were like $50 or something.
Yeah.
But like I started collecting. Bape was what I had a heap. I had like 3 pairs of white Bapes. I had the Easter Bapes. I had the what was it, like the Marvel collection?
The
A few of
Hulks.
those. Hulk and Iron Man and Wolverine and I think a couple of other ones maybe. And then like Jordan 1s and 4s and all that. And then when I was like, I could pick hats off of the wholesaler, and I was like picking hats based on shoe colors
Yeah.
and based on what was coming out. Like working at Footlocker at the time, and I think I was at High Point at that stage, early 2000s. Um, but I was buying hundreds of hats a month and selling them. A lot of people had no idea that they were like sneaker related colors and stuff.
Yeah.
They were just all random caps. And then there was like Bugs Bunny ones and Marvel ones and heaps of different ones. And then like just, yeah, going from selling caps pretty much out of the front of your house, essentially, like through Facebook and shit like that. And then meeting people and, going to swap meets and
Yeah.
making friends through other things and like working in Melbourne and living in
See,
Geelong was a
that's
pain in
what's
the
hard
ass.
with the
Yeah.
evolution of the internet and stuff now. Like your hat and your sneaker swap meets and stuff that has died off, where you
Yeah,
don't get that the customer relations side of things, so to speak. It's all done via the post. Yeah.
it's not good. I met so many people now that are still involved in all of that stuff, that are still Melbourne-based people, like Mark who owns Saint Side and like dudes like that who I met through working at Footlocker and then like hanging out with them different times through weekends and stuff and all that kind of stuff and meeting people at swap meets. Sneaker Freak could do a swap meet like sometimes twice a year.
Yeah.
Hans was doing like so much work in those swap meets and just like bringing everyone together. And there was a huge one that had Futura, Bobby Hundreds, like heaps of people. And it was at the atrium
Yes. Yep.
at Head Square. It was in
Yep.
there. It was massive. We had a table there, and man, I just took stuff that I thought I didn't really want. I went through phases where stuff I wasn't going to wear, like highs and shit like that. I just took everything I knew that I wasn't going to wear, and I'm like, whatever, if it sells. That was SB era too, like gold box SB era.
Yep.
So like Lucky Cats and Big Gulp 7-Eleven Dunk Highs and like shit like that, like stuff that I was not going to wear. Do you remember they did that like mid SB that had the strap?
Yes. Yes.
Do you remember
Yes.
that? They did so many of those shoes.
Horrible.
Horrible, questionable shoe design. Obviously, it didn't last. But like that shoe went wild for a while through like swap meets and shit like that. But just
That was
selling.
a time when SBs were sort of making their footprint in the market, so to speak. Like I brought my first pair. I brought my first pair of SBs off you. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, those I brought those mosquitoes from you, and wore the living shit out of them. But oh no, mate, I couldn't tell you where they'll be in landfill somewhere. But just you look back at the sneakers that have gone through your hands over the time, and obviously, like I keep saying, to you, hindsight's a motherfucker. But you look back at what you've had go through your hands, and you just shake your head at some of the stuff, and especially some of the prices they are now. It's just absolutely ridiculous.
Well, I remember working at. I remember specifically what happened. I'm working at footlocker, and the day I'm working is the day that the South Beach LeBron 8s or something. I think it was an 8. South Beach LeBron 8s release. The teal shoe with the pink laces. Everyone's going wild for it. Whatever. It's going nuts. That day, I'm working at footlocker. Someone had got a pair from another footlocker that had it. So we didn't get it at that footlocker because it was shit at the time. But someone had got it from like Swanson Street or Street or somewhere. And they literally came in to see if they could swap the size because they'd gotten a 10 and they needed a bigger size or something like that. And I was like, we don't have any other sizes, but I'm definitely happy to give you a refund on this shoe, and I'll just keep it. And we'll just put it into stock. Sure enough, yeah, refund, no worries, got it. Put it at the back, left it under the thing. That night, bought that shoe, took it home. Like that doesn't happen. It's insane.
It's insane. It's like an internal backdoor.
It happened with not the same thing, but something similar happened where someone returned a shoe and whoever was working didn't know if we had the shoe or not, so they just returned it and put it into inventory. And I was looking through shoes one day in the fucking rows and miles of high of sneakers, and I see this weird LeBron box that's like grey that doesn't look like any other LeBron box. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And it was a LeBron's, I want to say 6 or 7, like Big Apple LeBron, full red, like New York style apple on the inside with the strap. Wasn't even my size. Straight home. Yeah.
Mate, I'm not even going to pretend to know what LeBron's or what number and whatnot. I own one pair. I own one pair.
Isn't there a LeBron poster on your wall?
No, not yet. There's not. I haven't got the room for it. And let's be honest. Let's be honest. Only 1/3 of it's LeBron. The other 2/3 is Jordan and Kobe. So let's be honest, right? 2/3 of that picture is amazing.
You know what you should do? You should take it out of the frame, cut him out of it, put it back in the frame.
Put a picture of me there.
Even better. Even better. Have you got a picture of you from high school when you played basketball?
I can find. I'll go and have one somewhere, mate. Don't you worry about that. Right. So that's what you got up to in the early thousands, kicking around in footlocker in the old stripy shirt.
Yeah.
And you like we were saying, we're getting caps, importing caps, and from memory that was called Snapback to Reality.
It was Snapback to Reality. Yeah. Yeah.
And did you run Just Jerseys Australia as well?
Say that again.
Did you own Just Jerseys Australia?
Kind of. Not really. It was my cousin.
Right.
But I was involved in helping out some of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was moving so many caps, and like this was like when the internet was not even that old. When you think about it,
yeah.
It's like 2008 or something. It's like 15 years old or something like that. Not even.
Not even, yeah.
So like I was contacted by Pete, who owned caps, CAPZ, in Ep3, and he was looking at like wanted to do something in Geelong, and had been following like my kind of internet trail, I would say, with Instagram, with Facebook and stuff like that. Like I was taking these caps and I was like photographing them. I was editing the photos. I was photoshopping, like I was cutting out the cap and
working on. Yeah.
I was doing heaps of shit. Which then in turn, when we opened up caps in Warm Ponds, I was doing the same thing for that business, but I was doing it for both of the stores. So it was like Instagram, Facebook, things like that. And then I can't remember exactly how long we were open for. It was a while. It was like 4 years, maybe.
Yeah, it was a good chunk of change.
3 or 4 years. But towards the end, Warm Ponds got like a huge renovation, and we were on the other side where the renovation wasn't, and they did promise us a spot in the new spot, and then nothing happened, and then new people took over administration of the company, and we just got left to the side, and in that time period of like the last probably 12 months or so, I was working on Bearded Bros, the food-based part of Bearded Bros, through making like protein-based breakfast cereal, essentially cereal. And that was kind of funding my hobby of trying to make this a thing. But in the meantime, I was still, collecting stuff, selling stuff, making necklaces, making like sneaker related stuff, like heaps of other shit. I was buying vintage toys, like action figures and stuff, like small ones, and making those into like necklaces and stuff. And we had like 2 or 3 shops that we were supplying with that stuff that they were selling, like shit like that. But caps closed, and then I was like doing Bearded Bro stuff, but it wasn't making any money.
Yeah.
It was just it started out as me wanting something that wasn't there, from nothing, like me needing something or wanting something, and realizing that you couldn't buy it.
Yeah.
So I had to make it myself.
Yeah, so that's where the best ideas come about, mate. Is making something from nothing, and like you are a testament to that with Bearded Bros, and we'll get into that a bit more in a minute. But like where you come from with that to where you built it to is just absolutely amazing, and the clientele that you got through it, and once again that was mainly just through the internet, from the start. Built that brand to what it was and what it still really is, because people still know you as Mr. Bearded Bros.
True, very true, very true. It's funny when people come into work and I'll be cutting their hair and they'll be like, "Oh, what did you used to do before you cut hair?" And I'll talk it away and they're like, "Bearded Bros? Oh, I remember that place." Like, it happens at least once a week, I reckon.
Yeah. So you found what you wanted to do. At the moment, it's just a bit of a hobby. But what gave you the spark and the drive to push it in the direction of?
I was making something for myself, as in the cereal. I was making it for myself, and then
Yep.
I was making it and I was giving it to other people, and other people were like, "This is awesome. This is rad. You should sell this." And then that turned into me like experimenting with other flavors, and going through the, how many protein flavors are there? There's fucking heaps. There's all different ones.
Yeah.
There's like vanilla, chocolate, salted caramel, peppermint, you name it. There's fucking every flavor under the sun. So then I was buying protein anyway. So then I'll just buy more protein, different flavors, and then I'll just test out what you would have. But the thing that was different was I worked out by accident that if you added liquid, so water, to this cereal and stirred it up and you accidentally left it, it actually turned into like a muesli bar.
Yeah.
So then from that, adding chocolate, the first like granola bars, which is what really like skyrocketed the business. The first granola bars didn't have a chocolate base. They were just they just had chocolate like drizzled through them or over the top of
Just
them and
through it,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, and they were like pressed. They were like compacted into like muesli bar looking things, not the raw looking like granola bar that they turned into. And then I was pretty lucky to have at mum and dad's house. They'd semi-retired from working, like butcher shop work. Dad closed the butcher shop and was doing catering. So at their house, they built this like mad commercial kitchen in the back of their house. Everything was unreal. So Dad was like, you can use the kitchen. So when they'd finished their work and they cleaned everything up, I would go in and I had all my stuff just stored at mum and dad's place.
Yeah.
And they would let me just use the kitchen because it was like certified by the council. So I just used the kitchen and I just made everything. And I was just like, I was making granola bars and just taking them. Granola bars and muesli. I was making the cups. Remember the cups?
Yeah. The bricky bowls, yep.
I was making those,
Yep.
which was like protein muesli with dried fruit and goji berries and almonds and all that kind of stuff, and coconut
Just add a little
and
bit
all
of
that
yogurt.
mixed together, and then you just a bit of yogurt, add a bit of hot water first, or water, shake it up, goes all like gives it its hot water was better because it made the fruit and stuff like really sweet, which is cool. And then a bit of yogurt, and yeah, you're good to go. But making all that stuff and just taking it to every coffee shop I could get to and see and go and everywhere, and then just waiting, and then all of a sudden it started to pick up steam, and this shop was getting some, and this shop was getting some, and this one was getting some, and then I went to Bean Squeeze and I'm like, hey, you guys should check out these granola bars. And then they were like, these are really good. Do you think you could do a lot? How much is a lot? Oh, like 1,000 a week? Oh yeah, maybe. So then that went. It went from me buying chocolate, me buying dark chocolate, me going to Woolies and Coles and trying to find the cooking dark chocolate in the like mini buds because they melted the best, and yeah, I went from me going buying like six packets of chocolate to like 2 kilos of chocolate to me going to the wholesaler and going, have you guys got 25 kilo bags of chocolate? I need 4 of them. and then the only place that I could get, because I was using toasted muesli, the only place I could get toasted muesli was Woolies or Coles, and they're the only ones that sold toasted muesli that wasn't flavored. So it wasn't like an almond or a cranberry muesli or whatever. It was just a plain.
Yep. Just plain. Yep.
Yeah. So what I'll do, I'll go for a long time. I'll just go there and buy as many as I could, and they're all sealed. So I'll just buy as many and store them up and whatever. And then it got to the point where I couldn't get them, and they were like, and I went to the one of the managers of the supermarket. And I'm like, hey, can I order like some muesli? He's like, yeah. How much do you want to get? I'm like, oh, can I get like 6 boxes? And there was
six boxes of boxes.
There was 8 bags of muesli in a box. And I'm like, can I do that? And can I like pick that up every Tuesday or something? Is that all right? And he's like, sure, whatever. So then I'll roll into I think it was Woolies. Yeah, I'll roll into Woolies, and I'll go see the lady at the desk, and she'd be like, muesli? I'm like, yeah. And she'd come out with a trolley of like boxes stacked in the fucking top of the trolley. It was insane. But it went from working at mum and dad, like working in mum and dad's kitchen, supplying like a few coffee shops around Geelong, to renting a building in Newcomb, fitting it out as a commercial kitchen, and then spending like a few days a week, because it took 24 hours essentially, or 24, like 12-ish hours essentially, to make a batch of granola bars, because then they all had to be refrigerated so they could set up, and then the next day you could cut them into their granola bar sizes. Even before that, I had to work out that I needed to, while it was wet, I needed to like semi-mark the granola bars in the size that they were, so that the next day when they were set, when I cut them, they didn't just snap into like 6 pieces. So I cut them into 5. Stuff like that. You don't know until you come up against it. It's like, I would have thought. And then going from like being in Newcomb for, how long were we in the shop for? A year? 2 years? 2 years? 2 years in the commercial kitchen in Newcomb. And then that was like peak bean squeeze. They were doing between 8 stores. We were delivering once or twice a week, like 1,000-ish, 800 to 1,000 granola bars every week, like pumping it.
You're looking at just over 100 bars per store.
Yeah, some will get more, some will get less. Yeah. But bear in mind, we were packing them all individually in plastic bucket bags, and they got, I don't think they got stickers on those ones. No, they didn't get stickers. But we had to do nutrition stuff for that shit as well through the council. So we had to put like a business card thing in the granola bars as well, which had the nutrition content and things like that. So think about it. You like open a bag, card, granola bar, rip the plastic bit off, seal it up. 1, 2, like big
and repeat.
A lot. That was my peak like Joe Rogan podcast era of like putting podcast on and just working until midnight. And then it was like Carl would come and pack bars in the morning. You know, the kids would go to school, we would go to the shop, we would pack bars, then we would deliver, and then we'd go back, and then I would make stuff that night. And we were lucky, we lived literally 3 minutes, not even, from the shop. So like I would just walk there or skate there or whatever, and you could do it at any time, because it was our shop, so I'll go in sometimes at like 9 o'clock at night, like just do stuff at home. Or I was working with my mate Dan, who was opening up Mind Body Sock at the time. So I was putting in hours there, helping him open that up, and I was working shifts there. And then I was going and doing all the Bearded Bro stuff over time. And like fast
Burning
forward
the candle at both ends, mate.
2 years, yeah, I burnt the candle all right, lit it in the middle. I was I was thinking about the coffee shop idea for a while, but didn't it didn't kind of pop up on my radar until we were still working with Bean Squeeze, but they were phasing out anything that was made outside of their own stuff. So they'd build a kitchen, they'd build a commercial kitchen, and they'd hire chefs, and they were making everything from scratch themselves to sell in their shops, which makes perfect sense to me, but also didn't make sense to me why you would get rid of someone that's you're selling through, 800 products a week.
Especially something that's made locally, small business made locally.
Good profit as well. Like, don't get me wrong, I was making too, but like, they're making they're making more than 50% per bar to literally hand it over the window. So they phased out everything that was bought in, like from other businesses. Like someone was doing cookies and other shit, but like everything that was from somewhere else, they got rid of it over time. It took probably 6 months to get rid of everyone, like store by store by store by store. But that kind of pushed me into wanting to do something sooner rather than later. And then me and my old man built the coffee cart to do events and stuff. And then I was the gym I was training at, SureFit. I was working with Mitch, who's the owner of that, and he was like, I want to open a new gym in a big building, like somewhere, like don't know where, but we'll keep our eye out, and if anything comes up, would you be interested in putting Bearded Bros in that space? And I'm like, well, if it makes sense, then sure. And then months go by, and we're like looking at commercial real estate, and we're looking, and nothing comes up. And then Mitch goes on holidays to Thailand, and 2 days into the holiday, he sends me this thing of this place, which was in Newtown, which ended up being where we went. And that was probably a process of like a year almost of getting organised, setting it up, and then me and my old man fitted it all out, built it all out. DC Coffee helped us out with the coffee machine, and
You did it in 3 months.
what's that?
You did it in 3 months.
Fitted it out in 3 months, yeah. But then like heaps of people helped me out when it come to food and coffee and things like that. Like MJ helped me out heaps with coffee, and some other friends helped me out with food stuff that were chefs and that helped me out, just realizing what I would need to do basic shit, which is pretty good. And then we opened, I want to say like August, which was probably
seems about right.
2017. 2017 maybe.
Yep, that was the same year I went out.
Well,
The same year I went out on my own.
yeah. Yeah. So I think we were there for 3 years. No? Yeah.
Yeah,
No? 2 years.
yeah. Start of the pandemic.
Yeah. So like I started cutting hair around. Well, I started going into the barbershop and like sweeping the floors and hanging out. Like the start of 2020.
Yeah, I think I was pregnant with May when we did the shop. I was pregnant with May.
Yeah, right.
In the August when we began.
Yeah.
She was born in December.
Yeah, right. So May was born in December, and Cal was still pregnant when we opened the shop. So it was like that.
Around August, September, yeah.
I think it was August. I think it was.
Yeah.
But like, I started hanging out at the shop at like early 2020, maybe even like Christmas of 2019, early 2020. And then, unbeknownst to the pandemic, I decided to close the shop March 2020.
Yeah.
Luckily,
timing was right.
it was right. Timing was good, but only because obviously it was a shit time after that for whenever. But also, like, if I had got stuck with everything that I had, that I wouldn't have been able to sell, probably wouldn't have been able to sell, like commercial fridges and cake cabinets and fucking everything like that, big shit, like that sold within a week of me putting it online. I probably wouldn't have. Like, it would have screwed me for a bit. Like, I used all that. I used all that money that I made selling everything that I bought to get me out of the shop because I knew that it had peaked and things were changing, and there was 15 other coffee shops in the same area that popped up over the 2-year period, which is fine because whatever. But I just knew that wasn't where I wanted to be. I was out of the house at like 5:30 in the morning. I wasn't getting home until late afternoon, and then I was going to work at night as well to help Dan out at the photo studio. I was working that, and I was just like, why? I wasn't making any money, that's for sure.
Yeah, and it starts to really wear you down. Like, obviously, it's something that started as a little bit of a passion, but it turned into more of a inconvenience. I'll say, like, because you were never at home with the family, and obviously, things were getting a little tough on the downward spiral of the business. You were left at a crossroads.
Oh, it was. But the worst part was that, like, the shop was, like, it had its moments where it was busy, but it was only busy enough for me to be there by myself. It wasn't ever super out of control. Like, I think if I opened that shop today somewhere else, not where it was, because of the access to it and the amount of people that called me that couldn't find where we were, somehow missed the 15 signs that were up around the street. But anyway, if I opened that spot now somewhere else, I think it would do well. But it's just the timing of that. It ran its course. That whole thing from start to finish ran its course. Like, I was already not interested in it by that time, so it was like I was already like, because I've been collecting pop vinyls for fucking 10 years. I was already like made a pop vinyl page, and I was selling pop vinyls, and I was buying other people's collections, and I was reselling pop vinyls, and then I had the opportunity, like, before that even, Mikey, who owns the barbershop, was a friend of mine, and he would come into the coffee shop because he lived around the corner. He would come to Bearded Bros like 2 or 3 times a week, and he would always be like, "Oh, how you going?" And I'd just tell him, I'm like, "I don't know how much longer I'm going to do this for. Like, I'm not sure what I'm going to do." And he's like, "Oh, if you want to come hang out at the barbershop, come hang out at the barbershop." All right, maybe. And then my cousin had always said to me, who's been a hairdresser for fuck knows how long, a long time, she would always say to me like, "You would make a good barber. You should think about it. This is 20 years ago."
Yeah.
I'm like, because it was like, what do? You go to hair salon school, and then you learn from that. Like most barbers back then were hairdressers that become barbers.
Yeah.
So it was like, mate that owns Resident Barber, he's a really good hairdresser, and then he opened Resident Barber as a barber, which he is a barber, but like he come from that other background first, because there wasn't who the barbers were? The barbers were like 65-year-old men that
That's right.
had been doing it. Like I took Jai
Give
to
you
the
short back and sides and give you a shave.
Yep, 2 on the sides, mate. Scissor on top, ready to roll.
Yep.
That's just it changed so much in the last probably 5 years, I reckon. Good up, big dog. Love you. But going and just hanging out in the shop, I was already hanging out with Mikey anyway because I was getting my haircut there. But then I was already hanging out with him outside of work. We went to me, Mikey, and JD. We went to the movies a few times. This is even before Jake started there, so he's been there 4 years.
Yeah.
So like before that, I remember when Jake first came in for like his first. I wasn't working there at the time. I hadn't even thought about pushing the broom around, but like he came in to work to start work, and that night I got a haircut, and then we went for Mexican before we went to the movies, and he came and had Mexican with us, a couple of tequilas, and we'll like come to the movies, and he's like, "Oh, no, I'm good." And then but he started working there. Next year's his 5th year, I think. JD's 5th year was this year.
Well, I remember I used to get my hair cut all the time at Black Sparrow, Joshy's. And then when Joshy showed up, now I'm very particular. I'd only let one person cut my hair, and that'd be the one person. I wouldn't go anywhere else. And I said to Josh when he showed up, I'm like, "Who do you suggest I go to?" And he said, "Head down the road to get shorties, mate, and they won't steer you wrong." And that was, I can't even remember when Joshy showed up. I think it's 2016, 2017, something like that. So, and it was just just from memory, Mikey and JD there at the time.
It was, yeah. It was, there was only 2 chairs there at the time.
Yeah.
JD started, to this day, Mikey still tells the stories of like JD hiding in the toilet so that he didn't have to do a haircut because he was just nervous. I get it. He was young too. JD worked for me at Caps.
Yeah, right.
And when he was like 18, 19.
Yeah. So you've shut up the shop. You've shut up the shop in Dairy Lane. You're you're starting to graduate from pushing a broom around to taking the handle on a pair of clippers. How did your first day go?
Like as in first day?
First day cutting your hair. Your first haircut.
Oh, actually cutting hair.
Yep.
It was fine. I was nervous only you go through stages of working in that place. I see it now because I'm training Jess at the moment, who's 3 or 4 months in. We're all put input, but he's next to me in my chair, so I'm helping him 99% of the time. He gets everything. You just don't have a choice. Like the 4 of us are full. Most days we're booked out. So whoever calls or comes in or whatever, if there's time, you get that cut. That's pushed on you. So when I started, I got fucking everything. Long-haired dude, short Asian-haired dude that didn't know what he wanted, fussy dude, everything. Like, kids. Kids on milk crates that don't sit still. Everything. Like, but in saying in how bad of a time, not bad of a time, in how hard of a time that was, in not knowing what was coming. Because now I look at the people's names on the thing, and most of the time they're people whose hair I've already cut before, or they're people I know, or they, I know what to expect. So but now there's no worries. It's like I'm past that now. But then it was like, what does this guy want to do? Is he going to have like hair to here, and he wants to take it to here, and how do I knew what I wanted to do in my head, but I didn't know how to make my stuff do it. Like I knew what I wanted it to do. How I wanted it to look, but I didn't know how to do it. That's why having everyone there helped. Like I'd be standing around pushing the broom, and Mikey would be like, "Oh, this is such and such. Take the 2 and run it straight up the sides, and give yourself, build the shape of, the first pass, get it done," like that kind of thing. And I did that every day, continually, over and over and over. And it's so true. Like it's repetition. It's being comfortable. It's being comfortable in not knowing what is coming. Like still now you get people come in. Like today in the morning I had 2 kids back to back. One was 9 and one was 12. But I didn't know how they were going to be. I only spoke to the mum on the phone, and she was like, I'm like, how old are they? Because if she said like 3 and 5, I'd be like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm booked out. But she said like 9 and 12. I'm like, oh, it's probably not that bad. It's, not that bad. And I'm like, not knowing what to expect. These 2 kids came in, they were great. They sat up straight, not complicated haircuts. They talked. They weren't just like, they weren't moving around. They weren't, they weren't hard kids' heads to cut.
Weren't falling asleep in the chair.
Still nervous inside a little bit. Yeah. Not to know, like, it's just, it's hard.
It's a new cut. It's a new cut.
It's a new cut. But now, like, you going through that first 6 months of you not having a say in what you do. Like now I have a say in who I cut at what time. Like I put certain people in just before lunch. I put certain people in on Saturdays later than earlier because, the 24-year-old dude that goes out on a Friday night with his mates is not going to come in at 8 o'clock on Saturday morning to get a haircut. Yeah. More than likely he's going to not come. So him at like 12:30 or something like that. Shit like that you work out later on. But you don't get to do that for like over a year. You have to just take everything, whatever comes in. The ponytail that wants an undercut, that shouldn't have an undercut, but it's what he wants. Work it out. Me sitting here on this computer watching hours and hours and hours of YouTube videos of barbering stuff, that's not just fluffy content, but actual tutorials of haircuts to work out shit, and then apply that to my job, and then try and get better quicker by cutting, different heads every day, which is what makes you better quicker, because
100%.
you can get through things easier.
Yeah, 100%. Get thrown in the deep end, mate. It's the best way to do it.
Yeah. But that's what it was. It was probably 6 months of that, really, like thrown. And I was doing, like, to make money. I was still working at the float studio and doing some online stuff. But then I didn't get paid for working at the barbershop for like 6 months, maybe 3-4 months. Like not saying that I didn't get, like, tips here and there, but people were really nice, but I never got a wage out of it. I never made
Earning your dues.
Yeah, exactly right. And and like this, like early next year will be 3 years of being there, and it's gone like so fast. Like, skill level wise, you notice these jumps periodically for the first like 18 months. You get stuck, and then you work shit out, and you get better. You get stuck again, you plateau, and then you work shit out, and then you get better again. And then other things start to just fall into place, and then you get to the point now where you're like, you see it before it's there. Like, I'm seeing the haircut finished before I'm cutting it. It's like, I know what I'm doing. There's no stress involved now. It's like, it's always been fun, and it's never not fun, but now it's like extra fun because there's no stress.
Yeah.
And you're busy all day. You have your little breaks here and there. You have lunch in the middle of the day for 30 minutes, but you're doing 14 haircuts a day from 10 till 6 o'clock.
Well, I suppose at the end of the day too, like, everything that you've done with, whether it be your footlocker, you're selling the caps at Snapback to Reality, to going into caps, to doing your granola bars and brekkie bowls, and then opening your own shop up, to going into barbering. You've stayed that constant relationship with the customer.
Yeah.
The whole way through. And as, like, not only a mate of yours, but I am a customer of yours. You are my barber. You see that you have that one-on-one with your customer all the time, and that just goes. You don't learn that overnight. That comes from years of doing. Obviously, not the same thing, because everything that you've done is different, but it's been in that customer relation sort of field.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. It is, and I think that it's seeing, like, me seeing myself as, like, the brand is me. I'm selling me.
100%.
So for people to come back to work, like, for people to rebook an appointment, is, you like, someone said to me, like, you can get the best haircut of your life and have a mediocre conversation and not go back, but you could get an okay haircut and have the best conversation, and you'll always go back to that person. It's not it's a full package. You know what I mean? Like, it's, I see myself as
you're not only
brand.
a hairdresser, you're not only a barber, but you're also a marriage counsellor, a friend for an hour, a relationship advisor, a sports commentator. You're all these things rolled into one for that 45 minutes to an hour while you're cutting hair, and you've got to not necessarily pretend to be interested in that, because obviously I know you as a person and you do get interested in what people are talking about. But you've got to take on board, and then when that customer comes back, remember the conversation that you had 2, 3, 4 weeks ago. So I take it.
I'm pretty good at that. I remember shit all the time. I forget my own shit, but I remember everyone else's stuff.
No, that's fair, that's man. So yeah, like I said,
That's true. That's so true. That happens a lot. Like with people come in and they tell you, not everyone wants to have a conversation too, and not everyone wants to have a conversation every time they come in. Some people are like, pretty chill, and they're just like, just don't say much, and they're happy to be involved in the shop banter. Like, what it's like in the shop. The shop gets up and about. Like,
it does.
Everyone is on high alert. Especially on a Saturday. If I'm tired on a Saturday, I'm running hot all day on Saturday at work. No one's safe.
Your head's always on a swivel waiting for that foot stomp on the floor.
Always. T-shirt.
No. Like I say, mate, it's an absolute testament to what you've done, because obviously this is a passion that you didn't know you actually had until you tried it.
Yeah.
And
sure.
To see, and I've been fortunate enough, like I said, for the last 10, 11, 12 years, whatever it's been, to see every idea that you've had, and you take so much of my money in those ideas. Cal, I'm happy. Cal, if you're listening, I'm happy I'm putting your kids through school. But from obviously from being caps where not caps but snapback to reality, where obviously I met you through nightclubbing and DJing and stuff like that, but being a customer through you there to buying sneakers from you through your garage sales and stuff, and then onto caps where I'd buy more stuff from you, and then obviously onto Bearded Bros where I'd buy a 15-pack every bloody fortnight because they were just the best things going, and I'm still waiting for more. Every couple of months, a memory pops up where I'm still waiting for my bloody 15-pack, mate. So come on, chop.
I think there's a lot of people still waiting for their granola bar.
Like you said, mate, if you were opening up another store, it'd probably take off just because of the customer service that you provided, and the friendships that you made throughout the years. It's a real testament to you. So, buddy, I'm not just going to sit here and blow smoke up your ass. You can get fucked for that. But you have done well, man. And to find a job that's more than a job, it's a passion. And just the way you speak about it, it is a passion. It's a real testament. So well done, bro. Well done. So there you go.
It is definitely something. I didn't know that I wanted to do it. Oh, thank you.
So everyone listening out there, there's our that's our co-host Nick. That's his story. It's we'll wrap it up, mate. It's been an hour 20. You've got games to get on and play before you go to bed, and I can see those tequilas. Hey,
did you update your game?
Mine would have automatically done it. It's automatically updates. My Xbox is on, so
yeah. I
know downtime was about 6 o'clock or something like that.
I think it was early. Yeah, I got home and they'd already updated it, so that was good.
Yeah. I've actually been playing Dragon Ball Z through the Game Pass cloud. It's like it's a bit like Street Fighter and Tekken. It's unbelievable, dude. I love it. I'm addicted to it.
You'll have to come over. And have a look at the arcade machine that I got. It's got Dragon Ball Z on it. It's got all the Tekkens on it. It's got Street Fighters. It's got some weird fucking Street Fighters on there. It's got heaps of cool shit on there.
I think we might have to get a couple of us around, me, you, Rick, bloody Ash, a couple others, and do a bit of a game pizza and tequila night.
Sounds good. Sounds really good.
Just before we finish up, mate, is there anything you'd like to plug?
Not really. I'm too busy, bro.
Really? Well, I'll do a cheeky plug and a cheeky shout out. If you're ever down in the Geelong region and you need to find yourself with a bit of a beard straighten or a haircut, look up Get Shorty Barbers in Geelong. You will not be disappointed. I go there every fortnight. I don't think actually. I may have missed an appointment, so you're not gonna get into Nick on every second Saturday because that's mine. But head on down to Get Shorty Barbers, give them a call. They do walk-ins if you're lucky. You might get a walk-in, but I'd advise to phone ahead. Get on down, and you won't be sorry. So that was episode 3 of the niceTry podcast. Like I said,
who's on the next one?
On the next one, we've got a big sneakerhead lined up on the next one, actually. So we'll do our first 3-way interview with yourself, me, and our guest. Yes. I know how that sounded, and I know it's exactly how I meant it. So get on over to YouTube. Watch us on YouTube. Give us a like and a subscribe. Give us the old thumbs up there. Follow us on Spotify.
No,
and
say smash the like button. Otherwise it doesn't work.
Smash that like button. There you go. Smash that like button. Smash it like it's a red-headed stepchild. Smash that like button.
Oh,
and until next time, we'll catch you later. Bye.